PKN 320. We were just talking about games.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger, pay the, how much is it? Like $6 for
Is Left 4 Dead
9.90. It's $9.99 for the game right now, Left 4 Dead 2. If I want the full Valve Pack bundle, it's $56. I think I'm gonna decline.
Well, hang on before you do anything, because I definitely want to play like the new whatever the new map is if I play. I'm sure Woody does too. Like,
yeah, well, there's a different one called the bundle, which is only $7 in addition to the $9.99. I assume that's it. I don't know.
I don't know. But
I'll let Woody tell me.
But if we play, I definitely like to play like whatever this new content is that's just been added. I guess they worked with some modders or something and created some new content. I don't even know what it is. I'm supposing new levels or hopefully maybe new enemies or maybe even new weapons.
Yeah, like new special bad guys maybe.
There's I don't know if there's new special bad guys, but there were unused voice lines that they put into the game. There's a new map, I think. New weapons, melee weapons for sure. And
melee weapons are lame.
True.
Why?
In this game they have a purpose. And then shit, I don't know. I don't think there's any new bad guys, which I would really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still the same. God, I have not played this game in 8 years, I don't think.
I haven't played it since
9 years.
That guy paid us $500 to play with him.
It appears that the Left 4 Dead bundle is Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 together. For some reason, they're each like $9 separately and $56 together. I'm not following what's up.
I don't understand either.
Well,
But that's a deal. I'm making money.
But the last stand update appears to be included in Left 4 Dead 2, I think.
All right.
Cool. It's crazy. They're still updating games like that.
I'm like, why am I
this is the last hurrah for that game. This is their last and final update.
Why does
Co-op 2008 it came out. I don't think I've played since 2000. I think the last time I played this game was with Woody in like 2011.
The thing is, in 2007, Left 4 Dead 1 came out. Left 4 Dead 2 was really like DLC at best. A lot of people were upset that Left 4 Dead 2 came out, and you're like, oh, it's just a few new maps. And as a matter of fact, Left 4 Dead 2 has all the Left 4 Dead 1 maps now. It's DLC is what it really is. This is a 2007 game, according to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let the studio hear that.
You're really pumping me up to play this. I'm very excited now.
Yeah, I'm down to play. I'll play tonight.
Like, you don't understand, Kyle. This is a 13-year-old game. You're gonna fucking love it.
I like this game. Yeah, basically, it slaughter zombies. Keep an eye on your teammates. Everyone tries to get the most kills. That doesn't matter at all.
What else is a 13-year-old game? Like Gears of War 2?
It's about right.
2007 is Call of Duty 4.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So it's an older game.
Yeah, then Gears of War 2 also, yeah. Man, that was a fun game. I love the Gears fucking campaigns.
Dude, I get shivers when that freaking big strong guy. No one plays this. Coltrane. Nobody played this game like Coltrane.
You always like Coltrane. I didn't like Coltrane.
Oh, he was my favorite.
Didn't they kill him? I think he died.
They may have, but
he did die.
I was playing co-op with my friend PKA Dan, actually, and PKA Dan sucks dog shit at all video games, and so I'm like struggling. It's a real problem. We're getting overrun. It's me playing against twice as many enemies as you're supposed to have, and a worthless teammate, and then Coltrane comes in there, and I'm about in tears when he saves us, and he comes out with the fucking lancer and like chainsaws people. Thank God you're here. You're the teammate I've been wishing I had.
Yeah,
Dan's a great guy, but
sequels
he's
to that shit.
terrible at this game. Yeah, they came out with one recently.
I
didn't even finish the first one.
Just come up with something new. The same thing with Halo. Like the fact that they're still like it. Those games are trilogies. Like they told a contained story, and that's it. If you're gonna make a prequel, that's fine, I guess. Like I'm interested in like what happened before, but I don't want sequels to those fucking games.
Come out with something new is something I feel about entertainment in general. Like I'm really psyched about The Boys. Now I guess that's not new to some people who follow the comic books, but dude, The Boys is new to me, and it's new content. These are all new characters. I don't see twists coming.
They've changed it so much. It's not like the comics.
Yeah, that big spoiler I got in trouble for, totally not a spoiler. I was like,
I'm so glad it turned out that you were wrong. It was different.
It was different from the comic book, yeah. And I kind of knew that going into it, but people didn't accept that. They thought I spoiled it. But yeah, fuck all you haters. Let's go with that. I didn't spoil shit. Y'all dogged on me.
Unless you were interested in reading the comics, then that was a terrible spoiler for you.
Fuck them too. Readers.
Oh, wow. Fuck readers. Fuck you, readers.
Yeah, screw you readers with your clarity.
With your books and your glasses.
Dude, I'm
looking
reading
at words.
I can't just listen to them. I'm too good for that.
What do you buy, Papyrus?
Yeah.
Old school.
I was talking about Helldivers like being free on Audible. Like literally the day after I told you guys that, they made them all $15.
Really?
I had an hour left in a book that I was reading for free, and they changed it to $15. So I had to pay $15 for the last hour of the goddamn book. You couldn't just fill
in the gaps?
That's where they get
No,
you.
I can't fill in the gaps. These books are like build up to something at the end, and then a big thing happens. You know, the characters die at.
Watch a podcast where they tell you the end.
No. You know, at the end of a book, things happen, Taylor. So
do you ever turn off movies like close to the end if you're just not having it?
It rarely happens, but it does happen sometimes. Yeah.
I did this just a couple days ago. I just, it's one of those like mindless, like kind of working on something else, kind of not movies. And I just picked, it's called Six Below. Horrible horror movie. And it's like it's about this dude who goes up on a mountain. He's like some hockey player who got in trouble for doing a bunch of cocaine and crystal meth and got kicked out or something. And he's all depressed on the mountain. And he goes up there, and then as he's about to pick a run, it's like, I was going to make a SpongeBob reference, but you guys wouldn't get it. There's the really easy run, and then there's like a double black diamonds, like yeehaw kind of run. And he does like the yeah, whoo, puts it down. Then he starts going on the dangerous one. And then it zaps back to the base, and they're like, we're expecting 3 feet tonight. Get everybody out of there. He got to the top of the mountain 3 minutes prior, like just got off the lift. And now it's an emergency evacuation. And I don't know if you've ever skied before, but you can't just get lost. Like unless you're going into a back bowl and you're trying to get lost, you will find your way down the mountain, and you will see roads, you will see cars, because it's a tourist attraction. He goes down this place and he's speeding, he's slaloming, loop-de-looping and everything. And then he just ends up in the middle of like a frozen lake, as most ski runs do end in the middle of a frozen lake.
That's not true.
Thousands of miles from where he started just a few minutes earlier. And he's standing in the middle, and he's starting to get like a little panicky. And where did he come from? It's starting to snow really heavy. He came from right up there, right? The tracks are still in the snow. What do? You start heading back up. Not him. He decides the way out of this is to find more ways down. And so he keeps going down. The mountains are not this big. I don't know how he was going down the entire.
I don't know how you made it this far.
I don't know how he made it 1,000 miles.
It was horrible.
Well, it's
then like he was howling at wolves and
Taylor's clearly describing a book I don't want to read.
Dude, it got to there were maybe 11 minutes left at the end, and I was like, I hope he dies. I'm going to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, some stuff requires marijuana to watch. I have found that.
That was one of them.
Yeah. I watched a movie a while back. I may have talked to you guys about it, but it's like it's like a father and his estranged son. Like the father lives in like Alaska or something like that, some northern wilderness area. And he's divorced from his wife, and they have a teenage son, I don't know, 14, 15 years old, not old enough to drive a car, but almost a man. And the son comes to visit him, and they're going to go on a hunting trip. They're walking up onto the mountain looking for deer or something. And long story short, like the son accidentally shoots the dad in the leg when they're having this emergency. And the son is like, and the dad's like, leave me behind and go get in the car.
Oh,
and
the kid's climbing up the tree.
Yeah.
Right. And then the dad's like handing him the gun, and the kid's just an idiot. And the kid just boom, rifle right to the leg.
No trigger discipline. Shoots right through the dad's leg. And the kid gets his hand bitten a little bit by a bear, his right hand. And dad's like, go to the car, drive for help. And he's like, I can't drive a stick shift, my hand. And I'm thinking in my head, like, just reach the fuck over with your left, fucking like driving second gear the whole fucking way. like go for help, you loser. But instead, he puts his dad literally on his back and starts carrying him for like 20 miles or something like that. Because quote unquote, squats are the only thing I'm good at in gym. Okay. Yeah, well, so you can carry a 200 man for 20 miles because you're good at squats.
Yeah.
No. So
you didn't like how they included that as like a little like, hey, look, it's not ridiculous because we said earlier, remember when he bragged about his squats? It's like, all right, supernatural logic.
Yeah, like maybe if he was like a fucking lineman or something like that, and they had it, and then the beginning he was like pushing one of those sleds 100 fucking yards all day or something.
Well, and it was also like, I remember there was no pushback from the father on the stick shift thing.
Yeah,
like it was just one time where he's like, just make it back. You can make it faster. You're young and I'm dying. I don't know how to drive the stick. Well, that exhausts our options.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to carry me 20 miles.
It's like I can teach you to drive stick well enough to get out in an emergency in fucking 2 minutes.
Can you
like we can have a quick conversation
wrist,
here.
Like use the meaty part of your hand. Like just go like that.
Just reach over with your left.
Reaching over is a solid
any of us
option.
could reach over with our left in an emergency. I'm not saying you can fucking drive a race car with your left hand.
Dude, I can do that while shaving. It's not hard.
Yeah, you can do anything with your left that you can do with your right in a fucking emergency. Like we're not looking for like precision or like you don't have to be the best. You just have to do it. It just has to get done. Hold the clutch in and start in second. Give it some gas. All right, now you've already skipped a gear. I hated that. Long story short, spoiler alert, the dad's fucking dead when he gets him to the bottom of the mountain to help.
Yeah.
Like he's got his dead dad on his back. And you're just like, fuck, he's dead? And they're like, sorry, son, your dad's dead. And he's like, I know. And it's just like, fuck this movie. What have I been doing for 90 minutes?
Dude, it's even hard to carry a dead body.
The last day of it. So he was like trying to, it would be way harder to carry a dead body that's not helping with grip. Mm-hmm. But like, that was a third of the movie, was the last day of him picking up his then dead dad and carrying him back in like a whole montage. Like a third of the movie is that. And then they get back like at 2 a.m. that next day and like, your father died yesterday morning. And it's like, you've been carrying a dead person for the better part of 24 hours.
Yeah.
This has been the entire movie.
Yeah, I'm not carrying the dead body for 2 feet, much less 20 miles. It's not happening.
No.
I'll bring help back. I won't let the Badgers get you, but I'm not carrying the rest of the way. That was an awful movie. And the son didn't even want to go hunting. It was clear at the beginning. He didn't like it. He wasn't good at it. He was just doing it because his dad wanted him to.
Yeah.
They should have been in the cabin fucking playing checkers.
They didn't even. Squats. I remember they. Oh, go ahead, Woody.
I just said they should have done squats together. Kid would enjoy it. He's good at it.
Yeah,
that's his thing.
Break out the fucking weights. Let's go.
Body weight squats. Go.
I remember. I don't remember all the specific ones, but peppered throughout that entire story, weren't there a bunch of really lame flashbacks and talks about like what hunting meant to him and what he was like passing on to his child?
Yeah, and maybe with the grandfather, there was some flashback. And the grandfather was played by I can't think of the actor's name off. Bill Pullman, maybe. It was the president from fucking
what movie is this?
Independence Day. Remember Independence Day?
Yeah. No, what is this movie we've been talking about?
Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't want to know.
It's a terrible movie.
It's called Bad Movie Number 3.
All those awful little flashback hunting scenes. There's about trying to get a moose. I remember that. And he was like telling his son like the shameful tale of when he didn't kill a moose with honor.
The right way. Yeah.
The right way.
The dishonorable kill that he made on a moose.
The bear comes back for both of you.
Yeah, I was hoping the bear would just kill them both. Honestly, what I thought I was getting into was a movie like The Edge. Have you ever seen The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Baldwin?
Do they have?
Is that
are they stealing money? No, I'm thinking of the Sylvester
No.
Stallone climbing movie.
Yeah, that's Cliffhanger, which is also a decent movie. That's a decent movie.
Fun, yeah.
It was he'd been on a little bit of a slide before Cliffhanger came out, and that really picked his career back up. So this is called The Edge. It's got Anthony Hopkins and the good Baldwin brother, and I can't remember who plays Anthony Hopkins' smoking hot wife, but she's worth looking at for a while. And basically, Anthony Hopkins, Baldwin, and a black guy, they're in a plane, and they crash into the wilderness of probably Alaska, and they're lost. But Anthony Hopkins is a super wealthy guy. People are going to come look for this guy. And the thing is, the stressor is that Anthony Hopkins has this smoking hot young model wife, and Baldwin is her photographer because she is a model, like an actual model. And he's suspicious of their relationship. And so when their plane goes down, they're having to survive in the wilderness, and there's a bear stalking them. And it's a good fucking movie. I like it. I like it a lot. I watch it.
Wait,
I've seen that one.
I think I've seen this one. It does. He has a quote he keeps saying, right? Like a man gets pushed so far. What is it he says?
He does have a quote. I'm going to look it up.
Push him anymore.
Quote from The Edge.
Yeah.
You can only push a man so far.
It's something along those. It's something
to push back.
That's close enough. Yeah.
Stop saying that, Anthony Hopkins.
What one man can do, another can do.
Is that it? Yeah.
That's the quote. What one man? Because like Anthony Hopkins is reading these books of like survival tales and things that other men had done in survival situations, and he's making Baldwin repeat. He's like, "What one man can do, another can do." Say it. And he's like, "What one man can do, another can do." No, mean it. You gotta mean it. Because like the two of them have to fight a goddamn grizzly bear in the wilderness with like their wits and a pocket knife. So they're making spears and like trying to figure out
that trap where you fall into the spikes. I think they make one of those.
Yeah, all sorts of nonsense. It's a good movie. I like survival movies.
That is one of those movies though where they're like, oh, we got to prepare for the arrival of the bear, and they're like shivering, like not even enough energy to wipe their ass, and then they build an 8-foot by 8-foot pit with spears in it. Somehow.
They don't do that. I know what you're talking about. I've seen those. Like that's how that's how Predator is. You never see them eat in Predator, you know, and those fucking mass monsters, you know, they need their fucking food. You know, where's the grilled chicken?
Oh, it's time for third lunch.
Yeah, there's no way they're not. I don't have my supplements. Like they're out in the fucking jungle with none of their shit. They haven't eaten in like 3 days, and they're like, "All right, time to build the most intricate fucking traps of all time. I'm gonna need all of us. Carl Weathers, get over here. Take your shirt off. We're gonna have to pull this enormous tree and bend it over to make a fucking flail trap." Yeah, I know what you're talking about with the low energy trap building.
Mm-hmm.
I got my tractor stuck today, so that was a bit of an ordeal. I was mowing, and there was just at the edge of the yard has these swales, and there's I think it's called a culvert. You know those like concrete pipes. You know,
yeah.
Ours is a little too small for a person to fit in, but almost for sizing. And somehow I went up against that, and the tractor got stuck, and the tires spun in the mud, and it was like, well, shucks. So I'm thinking about the resources I have available to pull it back out. There's Tacoma, but that hasn't been started in a while. The nice part of that is it's tough. You know, I wouldn't mind like taking that thing up to like 8 miles an hour and yanking a tow strap, but it hasn't started. And if the battery's dead, and we're doing this with a stick shift, people are going to stall it because it won't be me driving. So forget that. We're going to use the F-150. I've got Jackie, who's a girl. I've got this 19-year-old, right? I've got this 19-year-old city boy who I once saw try to start a pull start motor, and he like jumped up in the air and while airborne pulled on the cord.
Oh my! I'm
like, not that guy.
No, just adding a little bit of flair. I don't see it.
Huzzah!
Yeah, who says yard work can't be fun?
And then I had a Hope.
He's tapping his heels as he's starting
and Hope's a young girl. I'm like, that's like the worst of all. So I get Jackie and I put her in the F-150 and we have to tow this thing out. First try was to pull it backwards. Didn't go anywhere. And I know, like if Kyle were there, it'd be like sort of two equals working, you know, putting their heads on solving this problem. Jackie's more taking instructions from me. And it's like, all right, honey, you know, so I put it in 4 low. It's kind of complicated to shift it, locking rear diff. I got it all set up for her. And like time is passing. Like why isn't she pulling? What's going on here? She spent like 2.5 minutes adjusting her seat, right? And if it was just reach the pedals, like I'd kind of get it. But oh no, she's got the mirrors going. It adjusts like straight up. So she's like, zzz.
Oh, she's getting the lumbar just right.
Right. Like honestly, you're going 6 feet. Like, and so that was a thing. The first one didn't work. We ended up pulling it out forwards. And in that direction, it went pretty smoothly. But it was, I burnt an hour. I'm still like exhausted from the whole ordeal of pulling a tractor out of the mud. And
it's hard when you don't have competent help. and you're in situations like that. I've been there.
Yeah, things that like I think I'm pretty good at giving like detailed instructions that people can follow. That like I knew that she wasn't an off-roader or anything. It hadn't done any vehicle recovery before, but like the seat adjustment and I don't know, little things. For example, like my key is a proximity key. So it was like, all right, I'll move the truck. So, and then she gets out and takes the key and walks 30 feet away. And it's like you're a saboteur. Like
I'm doing this despite you. Come alone.
But I was cool about it. I was good. But inside I was fuming.
She's like, don't worry, I changed all the air in the tires. I let the old air out.
I put the new air.
What?
Put in helium, save on gas.
It was one of the first. My F-150 is kind of a street truck, right? It's all nice and stuff. And at first, I didn't know why anyone would want a street truck. I thought they were stupid. And my driving involves hitting a curb now and then. And,
what do you mean a street truck?
As opposed to like a off-road capable truck.
Oh, okay.
This is a truck that mostly exists on the street. And off-roading is just like wet grass and shit like that, which you'd be surprised how easily trucks get stuck going backwards on wet grass if there's any kind of incline. Like they suck. But
a two-wheel drive truck is the most worthless thing ever.
You gotta have a four-wheel drive, like you mentioned. It goes backwards pretty well on wet grass, but yeah, they can get stuck. So anyway, we pulled out a tractor with my truck, and I think it's the most manly thing I've done with it so far.
All right. All right.
A lot of towing.
Fun.
Towing counts. That's kind of it. Like, so my father's a CPA, and he always thought trucks were kind of dumb. People were buying vehicles that didn't really suit their purposes. They're buying vehicles for style. If some accountant buys a truck, that's probably not the right fit. If you're going to make an accountant car decision, you get yourself like a Chevy Cavalier. What would you get nowadays? Ford Focus? I don't know. Like,
I don't even know if they make those anymore. Probably like a Honda, right? Like
sure.
One of those Japanese cars that goes forever.
He likes to buy American, but yeah, like an Accord class car, whatever that is. Chevy Cobalt, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe
Malibu, something like.
I don't even know if they make that one anymore.
I'm out of date, perhaps.
I'm out of date too.
But like that's what he felt like. Kind of a city adult should own. And somehow that buried in my subconscious. And when I got my truck, I was into woodworking. And I was constantly renting the Home Depot truck. Every time I needed a sheet of plywood, you can't really bring that home on a Ford Focus. So I would rent the Home Depot truck and bring either tools or materials home. And I bought a Tacoma, and I liked it. And every time I was like, I bet I use my truck as a truck every month, or maybe even twice a month. And it depends what you call using a truck as a truck is. If you tow a trailer, is that using it as a truck? If I put a 50-pound paramotor in the back, it's not a hard task for a truck, but it is tough to do without a truck.
Yeah, growing up like I did, Dad really looked down on people who didn't have. It wasn't that you didn't have a truck; it was that you couldn't do things. Like if someone was going to come help someone, like if you were looking for like manual labor, it's like, does he have a truck? No, he's got a Taurus. Well, what the fuck good is he then? Like how is he going to assist us in this endeavor that we're doing today? Like just every day, if you didn't have a truck, there would be this moment where you had to be like, get out of your car and get in the other guy's car to do the things we were going to do today. Like there was a lot of off-roading involved or carrying things around. And it's not that nonsense that Wings would spout about like, you gotta have a truck to be a man. Mm-hmm. Like Wings doesn't use his truck for anything manly. Wings, it's a status symbol. It's more of that fake man thing that he does. But like, if you're going to like, I don't know, like we would go pick up a race car engine. Like we go buy an engine to put into a car. How do you transport a fucking crate motor? Like if you don't have a truck, or like
slowly,
I don't know, any number of things, helping someone move slowly, like the Egyptians did.
Yeah. First, you build the car around it.
Easter Island photos where they tie the ropes to the top.
just always like, carrying cars on trailers to auctions or back and forth and just right. Every day there would be this time where like, if we didn't have a truck, we would literally be like shit out of luck right now. We couldn't do the thing that we're doing today without a truck.
My father drove 90 minutes to work each way. So that's 3 hours of driving right there. And then his job often involved visiting clients at their offices. You'd have to set them up and stuff and meet their staff, teach their staff how to do the procedures right. So, he's bouncing from client to client, going back to the office. If you do that in a truck, perhaps you're being kind of silly, right? That's not a truck task.
Yeah, unless you've been able to write the truck off, because a while back, like that was a thing.
Write all the cars off, right? But like to some level,
trucks there was something better about a truck, though. There was there was something better about a truck for tax purposes at one point that changed.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I don't know either. It seems like it was something that I thought you would be like, oh yeah, the RH3 variants,
right? And my knee jerk reaction was, no, that's not right. And then it was like, well, it's equally possible. You just don't know, Woody. So that's where I landed.
I know it's not a thing anymore, but I'm almost positive, like, or maybe it was SUV. I don't know. I just remember when everyone was buying SUVs, they were like, oh yeah, because of the tax write off, because it's classified as like a commercial, not a commercial.
I remember there was something about fuel economy not having to be. There was no fuel economy penalty for cars that were over 7,000 pounds. So some SUVs hit that. I remember that, but I'm not sure.
I don't know the details anymore. It's been,
but yeah,
I know it has changed since then, but it used to be a thing.
So where I was raised, buying a truck was like hard to justify. And every now and then when I have my truck, it's like, yeah, I'm really glad I have it. Now, 2 weekends ago, my friend's 2-wheel-drive truck got stuck going backwards in the grass. It's how it was in my head. And later that day, I flexed on him by going backwards in the same spot, 4-wheel drive. It was nothing. It was like a 5-degree incline backwards on wet grass. But if anyone here has done that in a truck, dude, 2-wheel-drive trucks are just really, there's no weight on the back wheels, so they don't go backwards well.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about that Cybertruck. I'm still thinking I'm wanting to get that thing.
It looks so silly.
I was just
nothing silly about it at all. It's fucking cool as shit.
I was just feeling frustration. So Tesla had battery day recently. And as far as I know, batteries are still 95% the same as they were before battery day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Tesla, what have you done for me lately? It feels like 2018 we all got excited about that Cybertruck. Am I off on that?
Yeah.
Maybe
was it 19 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going to start delivering them next year.
Okay, that's a bit of a gap to me. To me, the last thing they delivered was the Model 3. Maybe.
I saw. Did you see that sports car they teased the other day?
No, maybe I'm not in
sports. Oh my god, this thing looks absurd.
Absurdly bad or cool.
I mean, look, I like it. I like their. All right, so it's not the Tesla Roadster. They've already got that. That's the thing they sent into space. That looks incredible as well. The 288 horsepower fucking.
288 is not that high a number.
Yeah, but it's electric.
Yeah, I guess it's a different kind of horsepower. It's all there at 0 RPM or something. I guess that's impossible.
It's instantaneous torque.
Horsepower has a movement component in the formula, so you can't do it at 0 RPM.
I like how you said that like someone was going to call you out. I would have been like, agreed. Like, I don't know. Yep, we all know that. Simple truth.
It had that triangular thing in like the top of the roof, kind of like the truck does, but in like a low to the ground coupe.
Are you looking? This. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can.
I'm looking for it. I'm
new. Is it the Roadster also? I think that's what it is, Kyle. So the Roadster was their first car, and they're updating it. So tell me if this looks right to you. And to the viewers, I'll show you what I'm looking. That's not it.
Not close. This thing looks like, I don't know, kind of like a Corvette in the back, but then it has this triangular pitch in the middle of the cabin, like it goes straight up and down, like the truck does, like at an angle.
You're fully confident it's not the Roadster coming out next year.
1,000%. Like I looked at your picture, it's not even close. It looked absurd. I saw a picture of it the other day on Reddit. Maybe it was a goof, but In any case, yeah, I like the truck. Probably going to get that truck. I'll probably get the mid-level, whichever one I have to get all-wheel drive, because I want all-wheel drive.
Especially
that may mean I have to get like the $50,000 one that has 2 electric motors instead of 3. I'm not going to get that $70,000 one that has fucking 3 motors in it. Like
car looks like a woman's razor.
Hell yeah, that's what I want.
That's a funny comparison.
Yeah,
It does. Look how soft it is. It's going to no stubble.
Or are we talking about the coupe or the truck?
The coupe.
Oh, I like that coupe.
I like it
What
too.
is it, like $200,000?
That's what it says on my screen.
Well, that's expensive. I don't know if it's that much fun.
Probably not that much fun.
I don't know what Rogan has exactly. He may have the old Roadster, but it doesn't have the styling that other supercars have. Like a McLaren, a Ferrari, you see those and you're like, oh, what is that? And Rogan, I saw him talking on a podcast clip recently. He's like, yeah, see that dad car? It's faster than all of them. It's ridiculous. It's hard to believe that the old Teslas, but whatever, are as insane as they are. This new one looks the part to me. The Tesla Roadster, it has a supercar Corvette sort of vibe about it in my mind.
You know, we were talking about Rogan's. We were talking about Cuomo with that fake 100-pound weight the other day, and maybe we even talked about Rogan's reaction to it,
which was silly.
Which was super silly. And then I watched Derek, More Plates, More Dates, made a video like yesterday addressing it. And he's like, I don't know what Rogan's thinking here. Like, he works out. He's handled a 100-pound weight before probably. And he thinks this is real. He's like, all right, let me show you this. Here is and he shows like some enormous bodybuilder, like a gargantuan human
outrageous
being.
man.
Like top 3 in the world or something like that. Here's him doing 100-pound dumbbell curls. And he's going, like first of all, he's doing them like I would do fucking 45-pound dumbbells or something like that, but he's doing it with 100, and it's clear he's not stopping anytime soon. However, there's clear strain on this man, and this man is like 5% body fat. His arms are this fucking big, and
it's like a torso,
and it's clear he's working hard. And then you show Chris Cuomo like this. Like it's a fucking.
He holds it over his head like it's a cup of coffee.
Like over his head and back behind.
Over his head at a very dangerous angle. If that were,
I actually like Kyle's use of shake weight there. Right, shake weight doesn't have no mass, so I believe that weight that's at 100 pounds on the side did weigh more than 10. Right, maybe even more than 15. But the way that Chris Cuomo was throwing it around. There's just something about the way 100-pound weight moves, the inertia, right? It keeps going. It was fake.
I love
you like throw it up.
He's
here,
a big guy. He's a big guy. He's bigger than me, and I'm thinking like, first of all, you're a tiny man, Joe. First of all, you're a manlet. Like he's in great shape. Like you've got a lot of muscle mass, but you're still a tiny man. Everyone's bigger than you. How big is Chris Cuomo? What is he 7 feet tall, and we just don't know it? Like then I might start believing. But I bet he's 6'1".
That'd be a good
guess. The best way to get it out there that you're tall is to go on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because everybody looks tall next to Joe.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia.
Congrats. That's how tall. I'm about 6'1 and a half.
You know what? I'll give you 6'2".
Okay. I'm 6'2". I'm as big as Chris Cuomo, and I'm not a big
not as
guy.
strong.
The thing is, Chris Cuomo was fucking around with a 100-pound fake weight, but maybe I'm projecting some sort of positivity on it, but I feel like it was so fake it wasn't meant to be believed.
I agree with you. Derek does too.
On the same page there.
Like the only person, like I feel like Derek said this. He's like, I don't think Chris Cuomo expected anyone to actually believe that was a 100-pound weight. It was a joke.
The only person that believed that was Joe Rogan.
The only person who believed that was real was Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan falls for everything, which is one of my frustrations on him. You tell Joe Rogan the earth is flat, and he's like, all right, the guy's making solid points. You see Chris Cuomo with a 100-pound weight that clearly weighs nothing. He's like, I'm buying it. That looks legit to me. He's a big man.
Yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. Wow, that guy definitely throwing that around. He's stronger. Yeah, Joe Rogan is silly. But I like him. I don't even listen to his show that much, to be honest.
That's the dumbest thing he has ever said because it's within his wheelhouse.
Okay.
Like if he has an opinion on like a chupacabra, or if he has an opinion on a black hole, or if he has an opinion on virology, it's like, all right, well, that's his like uneducated opinion. He's not trying to say, hey, I'm Joe Rogan and I know a thing or two about. He's not doing the Trump thing.
Yeah,
I know lots and lots about this, more than most people. Like he's not doing. No one knows more about this than me. He's not doing that.
Real. I wouldn't allow that.
He's not doing that to you. But in this instance, it's like when he gives his opinion about weightlifting or fitness or mixed martial arts, like, all right, you're kind of considered a bit of an expert in these fields. So you know what, I was wrong.
I was just thinking how funny it would be if like Trump is like a passing discussion with like a NASA representative. They're like, "Whoa, what are you talking about? Black holes? What is this? What are you talking about?" And they explain to him what a black hole is, and he comes out and he's like, "We are diverting all necessary funds from COVID, the election, and the U.S. military to stop the celestial menace that is the black hole. I have been told and informed these are very scary, very creepy, very scary things, folks. They will suck your planet in. I watched it at NASA."
Until the liberals,
have you seen The Dictator?
The liberals force him to denounce, I don't know. Like they call him racist for hating black holes. That's where I was headed on that.
It's not because they're black. It's because they suck up all the matter around them. It's very scary. Very
no one stands up for the white dwarfs.
Now, here's a video I saw with someone I don't care for on Twitter, Mr. deGrasse Tyson's. And he... I don't know how they got this footage.
And it's like a clear graphic of a planet being sucked in.
Apparently, get this, folks. Just learn this. You go into a black hole feet first, right? You experience eons of time going through a terrible, terrible way to go. Much worse than COVID, I would tell you this. And because
I could see him doing that. That'd be fun.
See,
why doesn't SNL do that? That's a free one, SNL. Have a funny bit for once.
They're not funny. So in The Dictator, Sacha Baron Cohen is like this like Middle Eastern dictator, and he's got his scientists making an ICBM to carry his nuclear weapon to destroy Israel. And the scientists are like, "We're done. We got it built, sir. This thing has a range of 3,000 kilometers." And he's like, "Why is it not pointy at the top?" In my head, it was going to be pointy. And he's like, "Well, sir, because of the ballistic coefficiency and, well, just the way it's transitioning into the atmosphere and on reentry. See, we don't have a reentry vehicle. This thing is all one piece. It doesn't. We've saved a lot of time and effort by doing it this way." He's like, "It should be pointy." "No, sir, but we can't start over. This is it." And he's like, "Okay, you know better than me. You're the scientist." And then he goes, and they just grab the scientist and like drag him away as he's screaming like the fucking like Republican Guard or whatever.
I had that same conversation about pointy things not too long ago. I was like, all right, look, I get it. A teardrop is the most like aerodynamic shape. But why? Why? It seems like pointier teardrops would be more aerodynamic. Has anyone ever else had, I mean, certainly people have had this thought, but have you ever wondered why a pointy teardrop wouldn't be better? Because I know
it would just because of the weight, it would just swing down. Like if all the rain magically inverted and kept its shape somehow, it would just become that shape in the other direction.
Well, I'm not sure that it's the most aerodynamic shape. It's just what's created by.
I guess that's through a fluid, a liquid. I don't know.
By air, as you know, the liquid falls, right?
It is the most aerodynamic shape, and also the most aerodynamic shape differs at different speeds, I'm told. And if you were to take a raindrop, for example, and make it really pointy on the front, there would be more friction. It would have more surface area to go in, and that's why, I guess at subsonic speeds, a teardrop is the most aerodynamic shape.
Okay.
Because like it take that nose and make it really like a lot. Like, sometimes I exaggerate things to like just it eases my thought process.
Why are jets pointy then?
They're supersonic.
Because it just looks better.
At supersonic, it changes again.
Ah, that makes sense because bullets are also pointy.
Okay. Not all bullets though, so I'm not sure. Yeah, but I'm not sure all bullets are perfect design. Some of them are very
long-range
old.
Fast bullets are.
They're pointy. Okay, but like a 30-30 is not pointy, right?
Yeah, but that's an old timey round.
Right. That's where I was headed with that. Some of them might not have had like full science.
Yeah. Lately now we used. I always loaded these rounds called ballistic boat tails. So the front of the bullet is plastic tipped, so it can be extra sharp and pointy. Also, so that when it hits, you've got the benefit of a hollow point in that it's going to open up and sort of explode inside of the victim or animal. And but also the benefit of a pointy tip because it's plastic on the end, and that's just going to disintegrate. But at the back of the bullet doesn't just like end like it's not just flat like that. It sort of comes out and does this thing called a boat tail where it comes down not to a point, but
on the back it does.
Yeah, on the back, so that the air flows around. And
how do they do that? I think maybe I missed a part, but so most bullets are flat on the back. Maybe because they need a striker on there, right? Like there's some.
That's
right. That's the
cartridge.
Case. Yeah, silly me.
I'll show you.
Yeah, when you go supersonic, aerodynamics change again. I forget they explained it to me. I was hardly able to keep a friend of mine, one of my para friends, has a master's in fluid dynamics, and he understands this sort of thing.
Fancy.
Well,
right.
It's certainly a graph. A chart.
Look at the rear of the bullet, the above where it says G7. See how it turns into what's called a boat tail.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's tucked in a little bit.
0.842 measurement units is a.
Yes, measurement units. That's what they're known as.
Yeah, you know, looking at this bullet, it's almost like supersonic. It's quicker going to the right, and subsonic. It's quicker going to the left. It's weird. I half understand it, but.
And this is what this is literally the ammunition that I would use actually.
For what?
I would use it for deer.
Oh, okay.
These 308s.
Those are, yes. So you can see, like, it's got that ballistic plastic tip that's just extra sharp, and then lead on the inside, jacketed in copper, and then the boat tail on the back. That's a ballistic boat tail.
Cool.
I want to find a good horror game to play.
Do you actually want a horror game, or do you just want horror elements?
I don't know.
Do you want to be afraid?
Sure. I don't want the gameplay to just be jump scares though. Like I want there to be more than that. But why? What were you
like an RPG or like a shooter or what?
Either one. Just I don't know enough about games.
You ever played Dead Space?
Yeah, I played Dead Space. I enjoyed that one. I played the first one. I don't remember if I finished the second one or quit like most of the way through. I see a lot of people playing this one called Phasmophobia right now, which is like one of those detective put the pieces together games where you have to I guess you work with one or two other people or three. Maybe it's just two people. You try and figure out clues.
One issue I have with horror games is that oftentimes like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. And in a single player game, I hate that. I hate being lost. I hate running around in circles. I hate being like what am I even trying to do here? But if the game's on rails and really walks you through it, it's hard for a horror game to have that. So
yeah. I like that.
So I was watching I think the YouTube channel is Mandalore Gaming. He does really good game reviews. And I think I saw his review of this game a while back. It's a Russian horror game, and it's pretty fucking bizarre.
Have you played it?
No.
I write to you after so many years apart.
Did you want to?
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
No, 2019. I wonder if Taylor doesn't have a bad PC. He just doesn't have a great one. I wonder how it runs it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it and not really interested in playing it, but I don't know. It kind of popped in my head when you mentioned a horror game.
Yeah, I want to find a good one. In the spirit of the season, you know. Put the little plague doctor mask on the guy.
I moved him closer. Okay. That looks good.
I was thinking to myself, I need to. Oh, were we going to do a triple Halloween costume, like a theme this year? Maybe.
We had mentioned that.
We could do that. I'm not cemented in one way or the other. If we think of a good three-person theme, I'm down.
You want to be the Golden Girls?
That's not bad. My idea was to be each other. Just tossing it out there. Yeah, we could pick one and switch it up.
This is my Woody costume. Glasses.
Glasses, some plaid shorts, and some mandals. You're all set.
So just passive aggressive jabs at each other through costume.
Oh, maybe I don't like this idea.
Or just outright aggressive jabs.
Yeah, it could be the
that would
Golden
be funny.
Girls. I like that one.
It would just be hard to come up with enough material and easily visible elements. But I'll give that some thought. I've never considered that.
Hire a
Yeah.
makeup artist to double the size of my head.
Perfect.
Guess who I am, everyone.
Yeah. I'll go do
Taylor
the show
Swift.
from a $61 hotel on the edge of town. See, look, we're already going off with ideas.
That's funny too. And it was a $71 hotel. I really
Oh,
feel like
$71, okay.
you're not giving
Well, I got to
me.
get hyperbolic with it. I'm not sleeping there. I just, this will be a by the hour place, so I can just get it for the show.
We did our Patreon hangout this past
Yes, we
Sunday.
did.
If any of you guys want to join, there's a link down below for the Patreon. $50 a month, and you get to hang out with us for 2 to 4 hours, depending on wait
Ooh.
times. And the same guy who last month took an edible and got really fucking out of his mind high. This month he decided he was just going to get wasted. So he had like 15 beers or something while we sat there. And by the end of it, it was at the point of the hangout where it's like, all right, it's been 2 hours. It's time to make some room so that more people can join. So if you've been here for the full 2 hours, it was nice hanging out with you, but you got to go, and we're gonna get a fresh group of people in. And my friend Scum was like, can we keep this guy? Can we keep him for the full 4? Because he's at beer number 15 now, and he's still going. And it was like that. Yeah, that turned out to be a pretty good idea because
It was
by the end
1
of
in the
4 hours,
afternoon.
it was yeah. He started at like 10:30 a.m. And so by the end of the 4 hours, he had passed out, and he was barely conscious in his chair. It was that guy's got kids.
12 beers in, he acted like this was nothing for him. These guys, I just drink out of a stein 3 beers at a time. I'm at 12 right now, and I'm fine. 15 beers in, and he was asleep in his chair.
Yeah. He was fine for the first 12 beers or so, but after that, things went downhill. At one point in the hangout, I was like, I'm a little disappointed at the lack of drug use we've got this show today. It's kind of weak. And like the moment I said that, literally like 8 of them reached for bongs and start firing up
At least
dabs
8.
and fucking.
Kyle just wants to live vicariously through
Yeah,
that.
that's all I
Just
have.
like,
That's all
do
I
it
have.
for me because I can't.
Kyle, you must hate this question, but is there any update on the parole thing? They're almost.
Laura's working on it right now.
Is that an
probably next
attorney's
week.
name? Lar?
Lawyer.
Lawyer. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Lord the lawyer. Lord, this guy lawyering.
It's like that scene from The Office. He's like, he's a new dentist. What's his name? Crentist. Sounds a lot like dentist. Maybe that's why he became a dentist.
Crentist the dentist.
So you've contacted your attorney and you've set him in motion. And
Yep, I got Laura the lawyer working.
do you have a timeline?
No,
Okay.
probably no next week. We'll see.
Ooh, that's fast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I just got to like send some papers to a judge, and then I'm giving the judge a week to do his thing, and then I would know. I would
Cool.
imagine.
How's your
coming
foot? I'm asking for motorcycle reasons.
Yeah, it's tight. I can't bend my toes without it hurting, but it's definitely getting a lot better. It'll be good in a week.
Does it leak at all, or would you describe it as like crusted and over now?
I've kept Neosporin on it pretty continuously and kept it wrapped up most of the time. And I haven't let it get. I put a bag on it when I take a shower. Like I put a grocery bag on it, and then take like tape and wrap it around my ankle so it can't get wet.
Okay. I wouldn't even known to do that. I guess that's good.
Yeah, I didn't want to get it like wet and gross, and then
My wounds have to learn to fight, Kyle. They're not gonna baby that shit. Like you gotta get some air exposure, some shower exposure. We expect you to be able to handle these problems.
I just wanted to heal as fast as possible.
Okay.
I feel ya.
COVID, yes. Oh, we haven't even talked about it. Trump got COVID right after
No.
PKA. He didn't.
Yeah, right afterward he got it.
That was-
We missed it by a few hours.
minutes.
I
We missed
think.
it by
Yeah.
literally like 1 hour.
Yeah.
like an
Being
hour.
able to talk about Trump getting the coronavirus on the show. What a fucking champion he is. Already back in the White House, working for the people.
I mean, I was signing blank papers all of Sunday as well. You just can't hold me down. Can't stop
I don't
me.
do anything but sign blank papers
There was
to pretend to work.
There was a staged
signature
photo op.
game
If
on
you
point.
guys don't know,
No, I
he was
saw it,
pretending to pass laws or something, but he was signing blank papers.
Like, go sit there and
He's got to maintain confidence. The American people.
he could have at least turned the paper more.
You got to project strength.
He should have had a paper with words on it.
That would have been ideal. Even
Yeah,
a
really.
crossword. Some Sudoku or whatever. Sudoku?
I'm not going to
Whatever it
weigh
is.
in. I don't know. Sudoku?
Sudoku. You know some Sudoku.
You know, they both
Ancient
sound
Japanese
pretty good.
art of getting words wrong. Sudoku.
Ancient art of Sudoku.
Sudoku.
Yeah, I saw that. So he got now. It was funny watching as it happened because, like, immediately before there was any news, I saw people being like, "He's literally dead. President Pence is coming," and I saw people being like, "It's a ruse. He doesn't even have it," and other people being like, "He's so strong and good, and he'll never succumb to it. He's too and it's like this is. I don't think anyone knows what they're talking about yet. It's been 40 minutes.
As a guy who doesn't think much of Trump, he has character issues. Yeah. I had a little enjoyment in listening to news station after news station after TV doctor call him clinically obese. Like, I just know how much he would hate that. And they're like, yeah, he is clinically obese. Clinically obese was bouncing all over the airwaves and the internet because it's a comorbidity. It's a risk factor.
Yeah.
And
I'm all about body positivity. That's what people don't know. They're coming after me with
that. Would
I
be
have a bet.
Pivot.
I have a bet with my friend Mitty. I believe the bet is that if Biden beats Trump by 100 electoral points, I owe him $5. Thought that was a good bet. And if Biden doesn't beat him by 100 electoral points, he owes me $5. But if Donald Trump wins, he has to eat an entire can of asparagus, juice and all, on Twitch.
Wait, how is this a good? This is a terrible bet for him.
It's a terrible bet for him.
Who would take that? I thought you were about to say something additional that he got for taking the first part of that bet. No, why would you do this?
I don't know why he did.
You don't have anything on other than the $5 on your side.
$5.
You didn't threaten to drink asparagus juice at all.
It was no, absolutely not. There was a guy on
Did he
Reddit.
introduce the concept of asparagus and the juices because he might enjoy
That's
that?
all me.
Might be the reason.
No, that's me. Because and the reason I did it was because on our MMA, the MMA subreddit, this guy 2 weeks ago said, if Paulo Costa loses tonight, I'll eat 3 cans of asparagus. I hate asparagus, but I'll do it. Paulo's got this. And then Paulo got the shit beaten out of him. So he uploaded this video and it got huge on MMA subreddit, like maybe 18,000 upvotes at one point. And he's sitting there with a bowl full of 3 cans of asparagus eating it. And it's disgusting.
Well, I hope he enjoys that asparagus because he's not going to win that bet.
Trump has to win for him to eat the asparagus, unfortunately.
Oh, shit.
But
Yeah.
the
That's not as
100,
fun.
the 100 electoral votes, he might win that. I'm looking at the polls right now.
You want to take his action too?
No, because
He should have to include the
I
asparagus
think
on the
so.
other part of the bet.
as anyone who doesn't enjoy who Trump is, you learn to distrust polls, right? We've been burnt before. Yeah. But I was just counting up electoral votes right now, right? Ohio, North Carolina, Florida, Arizona, and Pennsylvania are all blue right now.
Yeah.
I'm giving
Since the
every
election-
toss up to Trump, like that scares me. But if you do just look at it, here's Biden up by 0.2% in Ohio, but it's blue. He wins by
Biden's
more than
numbers
100.
have gone up quite a bit since the debate, I think, right?
They've gone up since the debate. This is just Woody bullshit, so don't put a lot of faith in it. But I feel like it takes maybe 10 days for an event to really reflect in the polls. And I feel like the COVID stuff's not reflected yet. It's my own dumbass opinion that there'll be some empathy for Trump and that'll help him. but I could be wrong. People might also.
I don't think that's dumbass at all. Think of 2016. How many of these like like, it was just a roller coaster where like
I don't know.
on
Hillary was
Monday-
up by like 4 or 5 points nationally, and Biden right before the election, and Biden's up by 16.
right now nationally.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have him up less than that. I can tell you how much. Hold on, I'm scrolling.
Yeah,
around.
I knew it was up. I didn't know.
I'm up by
How-
8.
I mean,
But
that's significant.
It's a lot.
Definitely read 16.
I'm not saying you're wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I go by 538. They aggregate all these polls together, and that's how I like it to do it. But anyway, 8% is a lot. That's more than most presidents win by. I think it's a little like 2016, except Biden doesn't have the negatives that Hillary had. So compared to the Democratic Party as a whole, Biden's +2.
Biden also just from like
there was a little
like I think it's even more important electorally is like he's more likable than her.
So that's where I was headed. Compared to the Democratic Party as a whole, Biden's +2. Hillary is -8. That's a 10 percentage swing. You know, she was less likable than in like an unnamed Democrat.
Yeah.
So this that's the big difference.
Unnamed Democrat. Like I just imagine that like
I prefer
when you're
unnamed
playing like
Democrat.
Madden, and there's like that character who's just blacked out.
You're right.
Shadow.
Yeah, you're playing the 2031 season. It's like it's just made up names and no profile pictures.
Rashad Boomastan.
Yeah, born 2014.
Yeah, Hillary was just. I'm glad she didn't win. I'm still glad that Trump won and Hillary didn't, because I hate her so much that,
she
that, like
sucks.
her failures are my successes. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just despise her as a human being. It's like it would be like, you know, pick a politician you hate, right? But they're running against Skeletor from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and you're like, you know, I do hate Skeletor.
I might pick Skeletor.
That's a good analogy. I think that helped Trump win. You know, there's some guys who just love everything about Trump, and there's some guys who are just like, you know, fuck Hillary. And there's good reasons to say fuck Hillary figuratively, right? Like that Goldman Sachs stuff. Dude, what, was it $650,000 she was paid for a 13-minute speech?
Something like that.
Her speeches weren't that compelling. And by the way, they were repeat customers. They felt like they got their value out of it. Do you think the value they got was the eloquence of her speech? No fucking way. This is some sort of pay for play, some sort of corrupt bullshit that she's pulling there. And you can say all politicians do that, I guess, but she did it, and I cannot like her for it. Period. And yeah, so I could name things that Trump does too, but
name 500
but yeah,
off the top of your
there's
head.
a good reason that, you know, people have a negative opinion of Hillary. She did shit.
Yep. I agree. I'm still happy about the way things went down. God, it was worth it just to see them all cry, right? You know,
There's I think there's a part of the population who's kind of pro-Trump, but also really just sort of pro-Molotov cocktail. Like, let's just take a Molotov, throw it in D.C., and see what happens. Fuck it. That's what I want. And Trump got votes out of that.
Why not?
Right? Yeah. So that worked in his favor, too. He didn't
not a literal Molotov cocktail. That's actually the other side.
A figurative Molotov
Yes.
cocktail.
With bad hair, a figurative Molotov cocktail with bad hair. And they wanted to see what would happen. You know, like a lot of guys run as an outsider. And by outsider, they mean I was a governor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the executive vice president of Boeing, and then I was the governor of Michigan, and now I work for Lockheed Martin. I'm
Right.
a bit of an outsider. I'm a businessman. It's like
Trump was actually an outsider. He had no political experience. He was a reality TV star and real estate developer. That's his actual background. So outsider it is. You know, that you can't knock his outsider credentials.
It's been fun. It's been a fun 4 years. Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
We'll see if it continues for another.
I think he'd have won the second time if it hadn't been for the coronavirus. I think the virus is what's
That's going to hit him, Dad.
It's the number one issue.
Getting it. I think just it being a thing.
I thought you meant him getting corona.
He means the pandemic in general. Yeah. No, I think
the economy
he has
was
a good-
excellent. before this.
Yeah. The economy was really good, which is often a huge indicator. His negatives were high, right? He had a problem with people disliking him. But if it's not for the pandemic, he'd have had a much better shot anyway. That's undeniable.
Like we'd be going into the holiday season, like we'd have just had a huge summer of of all sorts of economic stuff going on that happens during the summer with the vacations and the movie industry and everything. The economy would be booming, and he hasn't started any wars.
I love that.
He hasn't.
That's a big positive.
He's kept some promises. He's at least as far as the Supreme Court, which would be a big one for people. That would be the big story right now. Him getting his last justice in, getting 3 Supreme Court justices, outrageous.
I mean, he'll probably get it because McConnell said that he's gonna do it.
We'll see. That's crazy. Like there may not be this. He will be the most influential president as far as the Supreme Court goes ever.
Is that true?
3? No one's ever gotten 3, have they?
I feel like 3 is pretty typical for people that get 2 terms.
It's a lifetime appointment.
I think Bush and Obama only got 2 each throughout their 2 terms, right?
I don't know. I'll Google
it. Because Kagan and Sotomayor were Obama's 2. Who were Bush's 2?
I have no fucking idea.
I don't know.
Well,
how long has Clarence Thomas been
Washington got 11, so it's hard to beat him.
That don't count.
No, we're giving him the W.
So Kyle everyone got 2 all the way back to Reagan, who got 4. And it has Trump as 2, but that'll turn to 3.
Reagan got 4. God damn.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Nixon,
how old are the rest of this?
Nixon got 4. Eisenhower got 5. Roosevelt got 9. How'd that happen?
How did that happen? He must have killed a couple himself.
The Supreme Court at that time or anything?
Can you say that again, Taylor?
Did they expand the Supreme Court and make it bigger at the time?
Well, how did Washington get 11?
Maybe they started with 11 and then went down, and then went back up again, and then went down again, and then went up again.
They did start at 11, I guess, since that's where it started. And he put in 11. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together.
I say, this is too many people. Back to 9.
Yeah. So
in any case, I think he'd be doing much better going into this election if it hadn't been for the pandemic. That he didn't handle it well. He didn't handle it well. You can't. There's no way you can say he did. Just lots of missteps that were unnecessary. He didn't have to just.
He didn't even
why couldn't he have led the charge on putting masks on? Why couldn't he have led the charge on all of these things? He was like, he says he was afraid of creating a panic. Everybody's already fucking panicked. Everybody was already panicked when we saw body bags piling up in New York. That's when I started. I was like, glad I stockpiled all that food. Remember those? I will say this. What happened to that? Are there no longer piles of body bags in New York? Was that just a weekend where that happened? Do you remember that when they were showing those trucks full of body bags in New York?
I don't know. New York had a lot of deaths. They were the first people to get a lot of cases, and I don't think they had a real good idea how to treat it yet. So now I guess steroids are a big thing. Respirators are not the ticket. But back when in New York was the deal, they were just like, I don't know, Elon Musk gave us some CPAPs. We'll put them on that shit. I don't know. It's actually BPAPs, but yeah, he literally made
maybe
BPAPs.
What they've got Trump on is doing the trick. He looked a little out of breath out in front of the White House, but
I saw that. So Trump got some drugs that other people can't get. The steroid is rationed, and the antiviral thing, I forget what it is exactly.
Yeah.
It's experimental, and you straight up can't get it unless you're a VIP.
Yeah, they said they'd only used it on 150 people or something like that. Maybe it was 200 or maybe it was 125. But somewhere
there could be some very interesting side effects coming down the pike.
They said one of the side effects. What did you read this? Is that why you're saying it? One of the potential side effects is delusions of grandeur.
Oh well, he's immune to that.
God damn it! I thought you were going to say hair loss.
That'd be funnier.
I had fingers crossed for hair loss. That would be great.
Delusions
he just can't lie anymore about the hair situation. Yeah, delusions of grandeur. Well, how will we know?
Right? Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah, How would we know?
Yeah, how do they know what it does? Only 150. Are there like 148 people who think they're Napoleon in the basement of that building right now? It could be like Lucky Larry over there, who's still fine. Or he might be like
when Trump came out and said,
Napoleon.
"This is recently. This is post Walter Reed. That the flu's a bigger deal. This is nothing. Don't worry about it." It was like, you're still sticking with that? Come on, bro. Like,
it's bad messaging. It doesn't make any sense.
It's dangerous.
From the beginning, it's dangerous from the beginning. He could have just glommed on to the message and been like, absolutely, it's really important that everybody wears a mask and does like, that would have been so easy to just do and avoid the firestorm that he got. And like, even the way he handled getting it, like taking the little motorcade and like unnecessary things. Yeah. It's just like, why do that if you knew you were going to be out the next day anyway? Because that was like, it was one day or maybe 2 days later he left.
It was like one day.
One day, I think that's what it was. So it's just the whole way. It's like, this is not looking optical and good.
Yeah. The whole thing it's been a crazy 4 years. Like, it's been a crazy 4 years. This isn't what I expected. Like he's just insane. He like the things he does are just outrageous. I don't know. Like you never know what he's going to do.
That's true. My problem is I feel like he often does stuff with the wrong motivations. Even if he does the right thing, it comes from the wrong place too often. Yeah. And he doesn't have a strategy for dealing with stuff. He has a media strategy for spinning stuff. Right? And the pandemic is a really good example, right? When he downplays COVID, it's not because of this sincere, good-hearted belief that he's worried people will panic. It's because he feels like downplaying it is better for him. And it's worse. It gets people killed. It gets people sick. Like it has half the population wearing masks. So this thing is way worse in not wearing masks, I mean to say. So this thing got way worse in America than it would have than it has in other countries or would have otherwise. But he just like, you know what? This is my Katrina, so let's just say it's not that big of a deal. That's his media strategy. And again, it just seems like he has a media strategy for shit, but not an actual governing, solving problem strategy.
I think initially, it was born out of him knowing like, okay, a global pandemic is horrific for the stock market, and that's my bread and butter. That's the thing I brag about all the time, and that anytime I don't want to answer a question, I talk about the economy. And so I think he was being like, I hope this doesn't ruin the economy. Oh no, you don't need to wear a mask. Go to work. It's fine. Like that kind of shit.
Sure.
And
I
then
remember that too.
Get him in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And
just missteps the whole way.
Usually born from a place of self-interest and self-dealing, right? Like I feel like that's the primary motivation for a lot of his decisions. And even when he makes good decisions, it's like, about my legacy, about my re-election changes, and it's like, well, I did like that one. I just don't like how you got there. Sometimes.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So, but
we'll see what happens.
We'll see. If Biden wins, I hope he doesn't suck. And I wonder.
All gonna suck.
I've been on this, hey, Biden's actually pretty fit. He looked good on that bicycle train, but I also subscribe to the theory that anyone over like 72 could die any day. And
it's a good theory. It's true.
And not only could they die any day, which, I mean, that's true for all of us. It's just more likely for them. They could start that decline. Like there's this,
both sides.
Some people age in a way where it's like, oh yeah, when he was 60, he kind of lost a step. And then by 65, it was definitely 3 steps. And by 75, he'd lost 5-6 steps, and he's 80 now. And
how'd grandma get so racist and vocal about it at the shopping mall?
Yeah. Some people though, it's like, yeah, he's 78 and he's just like he always was. But all of a sudden at 78.2 years old, it's boom. Now he's full blown 120-year-old mind. Like he doesn't know where he is anymore. Like
there's that or sudden death, right? Like I had a coworker that died. And he wasn't even that old, but he was really fat. He was like big, strong fat, but maybe fatter than you have in your head. And he was a foreman whose, belt was one fight of the night every day. And just picture a guy barrel chested with a flannel shirt on. And I went to work one day and he was dead. He was like upper 50s. And it just kind of like, right. Because sometimes fat people, they're alive today and dead tomorrow. That's how they just have a heart attack and boom. And that becomes more likely when it's a fat 74-year-old in Trump's case. Like every day I've been like, that's the age people die.
Yeah, very few fat 80-year-olds. Very few.
But he's so this foreman, like you wouldn't think he was about to die. Like, look, he's too heavy. He needs to lose weight, but he's so active every day. He's not about to die.
I'm going to call it right now. Just 2020 has been, and really especially 2020, but the last several years have been so bizarre. It's been like someone is writing fiction and like just putting twists and turns in. It's like our universe crashed into like another universe, and we've split off into some sort of parallel bizarro land. I'm going to call it right now. Something crazy is going to happen. Biden is going to have like a stroke or like a heart attack, or he's going to have a breakdown in public. Like not
Trump, not to be outdone.
Not a dizzy fit like Hillary had, where she fell like a fucking bag of rocks and they had to drag her back into that car that time. Like he's going to fall. He's going to have an embarrassing moment, and Trump is going to win this thing.
Ooh, wow. So you're saying this happens in the next like 28 days.
Yeah. Like it might be happening right now. We don't know it.
If Trump wins, Mitty has to drink the juice.
Mitty has to drink the juice. He has to eat the whole can.
I've decided I'm voting again.
Now he'll carry Missouri.
A Minnesota man who made a bet that he'd eat an entire can of asparagus has spurred a new outreach of Trump support all around the country, and yes, the world, Don.
Asparagus for all.
That's where you're wrong, Kyle.
Asparagus farmers of America are saying they are now fully endorsing Donald Trump.
If people around the world were going to vote, illegal votes we're talking about, it'd be for Biden. That's what illegal votes do.
That's true.
True.
Science.
True. But I don't know. I think Kyle's right. We need one more. We've already had the penultimate.
At least one more nonsensical
the penultimate episode, but the finale has not arrived. We're waiting on the finale.
That's true. We're at like episode 8, maybe 9, but
no, Trump getting COVID. We're in the middle of episode 9 right now.
You think so?
Yeah.
And we haven't got to the end of 9. There's a twist at the end of 9 to lead you into the 10th episode.
Right. There's going to be a cliffhanger. Trump is going to jump the plexiglass, cough in Biden's general direction, and then the show will end.
God,
wait till next week.
What if he didn't even make it like a little? What if he just went? Let it spit in his eyes.
Joe, you want to sip in my Diet Coke?
So the next debate is October 15th, which I think is the 2 weeks Trump needs to not be contagious anymore.
Okay.
So, but I don't know how that works. Are they going to delay it? Are they going to put it on Zoom? Are they going to cancel the middle one?
Show of being in a plexiglass cube
far apart.
Yeah, space them. They the senators in South Carolina debated. They had a plexiglass divider.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about our bet, Taylor. We'll see how it works out. I don't know. I wrote 3 debates, and I do remember the Zoom thing being a push if one of them's on Zoom. So I don't know if they have to happen on time or not. When someone will check the tape.
Yeah,
they don't have to happen on time.
When's playoff baseball happening more? When's the next Braves game?
Oh man, let me check my calendar.
Your boys got knocked the fuck out.
Who?
All right, we're already up 1-0 to none on the Marlins. I didn't know that. Next game's tomorrow at 2.
Is it the playoffs?
Cardinals are gone.
Oh, they got knocked out?
Yeah.
Who are they
you saying
playing?
that's playoffs? You're up 1 game on the
second round of playoffs. We're up 1 game.
Oh, I have not been paying attention to baseball.
Me either. Padres lost to the Padres.
Yeah.
Oh, 5. I always forget baseball does these 5-game series.
I know people don't care about basketball, but there's this guy, Jimmy Butler. I think I showed you him falling out of a canoe. Really likable guy. Super hard worker and kind of wants to be a superstar, aspires to be a superstar, but never puts up superstar numbers. Last night he put up superstar numbers, and he willed his team to beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis Lakers. This is like Star Wars shit, right? The scrappy little rebels trying to beat the Empire, and they got a win last night. The first game, this is the Heat we're rooting for. Their 3 best players got injured, and they lost the game. Now, it's hard to even explain in basketball how important your best players are.
Yeah.
You know, if the Blues lose their best guy, look, it's still a pretty big team. One guy only has so much impact. When a basketball team loses their best player, then they're just screwed. They lost their best 3, but Jimmy Butler came back and played on a broken ankle, I mean to say. And he won a game there. He's extending the series, so maybe these other guys come back. And
I want the Lakers to lose.
Everybody does. They are Darth Vader. But they lost one game. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I've had
next.
enough of LeBron's politics.
Ah. Okay. There's a little piece of me that thinks it's like you really want the Miami story to win, but
I don't know the Miami story. I don't like LeBron's politics, and I didn't like that he walked off the game, off the court with like 15 seconds to go.
Okay, I forgetting that. I like it when great stuff is happening right now. You know, like there's a Michael Jordan who plays in the NBA right now. His name's LeBron James. He has 3, 4 rings. I forget how many rings he has, but he's about to add another one. He has so many finals appearances. He gets to the finals every year. LeBron James has played in the championship for like the last 10 years in a row, except last one where he was injured. And like it is outrageous. They said, oh, he's only making it to the finals because he's in the East and it's easy over there. So he goes to the West and now he's in the finals. I think it just, look, if Muhammad Ali was fighting right now, I'd be excited about that. If, you know, Michael Jordan was playing right now, there's something neat about that. If I don't know, Willie Mays or some baseball guy, if he was playing right now, it'd be neat to see Babe Ruth going after a home run record in real time in front of us during our era that we watch this. And there's an aspect of me that gets excited for LeBron to make his case. But,
I want him to fall short of because the expectations are so lofty, and I want him to fail because I think it'd be fun. But more than anything, I want that fake hair he's got glued to the top of his head to fall off while he's crying. You ever seen his fake hair, Taylor?
Yeah, you showed me his fake hair. It's pretty egregious at this.
It's glued on.
I know.
Yeah,
because it fell off.
It's funny. He got praise for that hair a few years ago. They called it the greatest comeback in sports, his hairline. And now, like, the secret's out, bro. You glued hair under your head. I don't know why. He has all the money in the world. I guess black people hair transplants are harder, maybe? I'm not sure.
Technology's just not there yet.
Because white guy hair transplants are great. Elon Musk... I was about to say Jeff Bezos, but I think he shaves his head.
Yeah, he shaves it.
But Elon Musk, his hair looks fantastic.
Yeah, especially if you're like taking your own hair from the back and bringing it to the front.
Do you know Connor Murphy? He's a fitness model. I think I have his name right. He's been on More Plates, More Dates a few times, so he might ring a bell. His hair looks fantastic.
Wow, he is a fitness model. Goodness.
Yeah, this guy's like.
Yeah, Derek did a video about this guy. Why Connor Murphy lost his gains.
Yeah. His theory was that he was losing his hair, so he backed off the steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And but now his hair is amazing because he got a hair transplant, and it looks really, really good. So my point was, it seems like they can do white guy hair really well.
Yeah. I think white guy hair is a lot easier to do than black guy hair.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me too. Anyway, call it a show?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Good show.
KN 320, probably.